So one, this is something that's not, it's received a lot of attention, but it's kind of, dying down. And this is the New Perspective on Paul. So this is something that you will see people kind of, third quest authors like E.P. Sanders, and I know I haven't talked about what the third and first and all these quests are, but I'm kind of just going to be jumping into some of these topics here. So E.P. Sanders, James D.G. Dunn, Scott McKnight, I think, is going to have probably some opinions on this. I don't know if I've seen, he probably has written some stuff, I just haven't read any of those things. Anyways, so those three people come to my mind kind of immediately. More generally, work on Paul, you can find from people like N.T. Wright. He has this sort of growing collection of books called, I think it's something to the effect of like Christian Origins and the Questions of God, and the Question of God, or something to that effect. And so he has these kind of big books that he's been writing. So New Perspective on Paul, that's it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of technical detail. I remember asking people, I asked this one person I was talking to in high school. She was my world religions teacher, and I'm pretty sure that she had it was either a bachelor's or a master's in biblical languages, and I kind of asked her some of these questions. I was like, hey, have you read? I think Paul and Palestinian Judaism was the one that I asked. I was like, hey, have you read this? She's like, well, I've read parts. And so, sometimes you don't hit people on their area of expertise, and then it's, it is what it is, and you can kind of have a good conversation or not. I also remember, this is someone who's a little bit probably, who you would know. I think his name is Peter J. Williams, or Peter S. Williams. He's not the philosopher, he's the theologian. So whichever one of those is the theologian, that's the one I put this sort of question to. And he really just gave me this sort of textbook response about here's what, here's the Talmud and sort of the documents around it. And I wasn't, it was almost like he hadn't heard of this sort of research area, which was, for me, I was like, all right, well, this is something that's important, I didn't say anything, but I was just like, all right, whatever. So, I've talked about, let's see, these four: E.P. Sanders, James D.G. Dunn, Scott McKnight, who I don't know if he's written too much about this. I haven't checked in a while. So, N.T. Wright. Let's see, there are other people who have kind of disagreed. I know more at the popular level, or at least what I judge to be the popular level. John Piper has kind of written a book response to this, and also at a more academic level, D.A. Carson has put forward some said about two books that I think kind of book response. I think he's the editor of these things. Anyways, so he's trying to respond to New Perspective on Paul. And I think he also has some videos on YouTube, but blah, 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 blah. So that's just one area of research.